All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Group Chart Analysis. It is Sunday, August 26th. Right now, I'm in Central Time, so it's technically 8 o'clock, even though that's wrong. That's the wrong time. It's 8 o'clock my time. And there's some interesting things happening this week. So, I'm glad I caught this early on. If you guys remember from all last week, my four favorite, the pairs I've been really studying: Euro, USD, Gold, GBP, USD, and AUD, USD. And last week, we've been waiting for these drops, right? We've been waiting for these drops to happen. And right before this call, I said there's some things I got to switch up. Well, these four pairs that I wanted to drop, they're not dropping. They're going to keep rising. So hopefully no one's in like certain trades or holding them. I know there's a bunch of people out there that are holding these trades for sells, but I'm telling you straight up right now that these things are not going to drop. Now, they might pull back, but the overall trend is going to be going up. And let me kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. So for the last, we've been waiting for Euro USD to drop. It did the drop that we wanted 7 weeks ago. Finally it happened, and now we're looking for this. Now, if you guys see how the week ended last week on Euro USD, it threw a morning star, which is a massive reversal pattern. And I believe because of the fact that there is no trend on this pattern right now, that these pairs are actually going to, this pair is actually going to shoot up a little bit more higher than expected. And where I believe it's going to go to here on the weekly, let me kind of measure that out, would be at least the 1.18091 area, which on my chart right here is the recent weekly high. So from there, let me delete this. Let me go to the daily. Now, if you guys know how I like to trade, I use the TDI a lot, and the thing is, I was telling you that it was going to come up to the water here last week. It did. We wanted it to reverse a little bit sooner, but it came up, hit the water, and I thought it was going to throw some sort of M pattern and then drop back down. But the TDI is saying otherwise. The fact that the TDI is still inside of the volatility bands, and that the TDI is still going upwards, and the RSI is actually going in an upwards motion, tells me, and on top because of the fact there is no trend, you guys seeing this? All those EMAs are tight, meaning there is no trend, meaning that for me to use these EMAs as support resistance is out of the question. I have to go on what I'm seeing from the RSI and what I believe based on certain patterns and candlesticks are going to continue up. Now, I see that the RSI here is about to be back coming out of the volatility band. So you're looking for Euro USD tonight, going into tomorrow or this week for overall rises, right? These are going to keep rising. I wanted them to drop. I don't think they're going to drop. I think this thing is going to go all the way back up into the overbought region on the daily, meaning it has plenty of room to rise, and that we're going to be looking for pullbacks to the downside for them to throw like a nice pattern against the EMAs to go back to the upside. So the one thing I did call out last week that I was saying, hey, this could be a good thing for the beginning, was the divergence here. So we have the overbought zones right here. We have it divergent here. And that is telling me that, yes, it will potentially drop for a split day, right? This is what it's telling me. It's going to drop down towards that 4-hour catch-up, which is the 1-hour water, and that this thing is going to then shoot back up, all right? So short-term, as in tonight, look for drops in the Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD USD, and we'll be looking for the continued rise. So let me see if I can draw this on the hour. Here. Oh, shit. Let's drop that. It's still divergent here in the hour. If you guys are seeing this, I'll draw it out. So from here to here, price is going up, and then from up here, we got the price overbought, extremely overbought. And what it's doing right now, for me to expect this thing to drop tonight, going down towards this 1-hour water, which is where I believe it's going to go, is the fact that this area right here, draw this up, is divergent. It's hitting a flat surface and it's overbought. You got price going up here, telling me that it's not really right. So for the short term, tonight, you're looking for a drop on the 1-hour on the Euro USD for it to drop down towards that water. Look for the pattern, and you're rebuying. So you're not trading this up until you watch this thing drop. So if you want to come in and scalp it, you can do that on the 15-minute chart. I believe it will take this thing down. It's going to break through this 15-minute water, and it's going to throw like a mini head and shoulders. So what's going to happen is y'all are going to see this. You got the left shoulder. You got the head, which, by the way, is an M. That head is an M. For it to drop down, to hit and break the water, consolidate, pull back, and then drop down to the overall Mayo, which is the 1 hour water. Once it hits that zone, it'll go back up to the upside. So that's the, if you guys want to trade this to anything to the downside, you're waiting for this. You're waiting for the right shoulder of the mini head and shoulders to form for it to drop and hit that Mayo. Once it does, take your profit and you're looking for buys. All right, that's what you're going to look for. Gold. Gold is continuing up. Same thing with gold. Notice how it took up the highs. If you guys see right on my chart the blueberry, it has to hit that blueberry. It's going to hit the blueberry. So what you're looking for, same shit I just said on Euro USD. You're looking for the drops. You're looking for the pullback. It's throwing an M formation. It's diverging to shit. You're going to wait for it to drop down to at least maybe the 15-minute water, and then a possible rise or break, and then down to the Mayo, and then a complete rise there. The 15 minutes doesn't look too low right now. I would maybe hold off on gold. I just know that it's going to rise. I would just wait for the pullback down. It doesn't really go based off of EMAs. It goes based off of support resistance. So what you could do is, because it just broke this one, if it does pull back to anything, it's going to pull back to this high right here, which is based off of that high from 2 days ago, 2 trading days ago. So look for that pullback down, wait for it to bounce off of it, and then you look for the continued pattern back up. GBP USD. Through that, it's not fully there yet, but if you look at the weekly of GBP USD, are you looking at the charts? Oh, you're looking at the charts.
No.
Okay. If you see here, it's through a shark fin. Now I believe it's going to shoot up a little bit towards that catch-up. Right? So the weekly chart, it has not hit the catch-up, which is the perfect pullback zone on GBP USD the entire year. It reversed the beginning of this year. It dropped all this time. Look, it literally dropped for over a dozen weeks. And it has not pulled back to retest that catch-up yet. I believe that this thing is going to finally do that pullback that it's been long overdue for. Hence the continued rise that we're going to be seeing. It shot up, broke the daily catch-up, and it came back for a pullback. And if you guys are seeing this TDI right now, what I'm seeing here is that this TDI is going to shoot up towards that stationary 50, which that stationary 50, if you guys remember, is that EMA 50. It's the water. So you're going to watch this thing literally just, it's going to shoot the fuck up to the skyrocket. Right? If you go to the 4 hour, I think that there could be some sort of small pullback down for it to drop or consolidate on that water. And then you'll see that nice little buying potential back up towards the Mayo. What?
It's got to go back up right there. That's the center of gravity of this market.
Yeah, it's the weekly, right, so it's got to go.
No, that's the month.
Well, I'm saying, well, go to the weekly. The first place it's going to go to is that water or the catch-up. That's where I had it going to first. Sure. So you guys are going to see that thing shoot up to, over the next week, this week at least. Let me go to the hour, see if we can find a more precise entry. You heard it here first. I'm just telling you, there's people selling this shit right now. They're selling it. They're going to lose. They're going to add it to their portfolio. Let's see. GBP USD might be delayed a little bit, and I say that because the 50 EMA and the Mayo, which is the 200 EMA, the water and the Mayo, are very close together. And when that happens, you'll sometimes see some consolidation happen. But overall, what I want you guys looking for is that pull back down for it to then rise overall, right? Because if we know that this thing's going to rise up, the only thing you need to be looking at is the best buying potential. Buy low, sell high. So you got to buy once that thing pulls back, and you look for the continued rise up. So if you want, you can place pendings at your recent lows here. You can place pending at this wick right here. You guys are seeing my charts. You can place pendings here and just wait. If you want to even look at more market execution, just wait for it to shoot down during London session, and then you can buy it during London session, New York session, whichever one it's going to be. 15-minute, and on top of that, look at it's divergent here in the 15. This thing is bound to take a little drop down, so this pair is correlating with all the other ones. Look for stop hunt low, rise. So you'll be looking for the ultimate rise, but wait for it to drop first, then come in on small buys. AU is the leader in this shit. It literally was telling us since last week that this shit was bound to rise. Look at it. It's the only pair that has been rising this hard. If you guys are seeing right now, this is exactly what you're going to see on the 15-minute tonight. It's divergent. You have price overbought going down. You have price going up here, the perfect divergence. You'll see this thing come down. Either it's going to form a head and shoulders like I showed you on EU and gold, or EU, and it's going to, you guys can enter for a sell down here towards that 15-minute Mayo, which is the 1 hour water, like so. And then what you'll do is you'll come in and you'll rebuy that shit. So false move, we've been getting drop, rebuy AU, and ride it up. That's a 15-minute. Let me see the weekly real quick. I know this thing's a little overdue. Weekly, look at that. Massive wicks.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I do. Why? Yeah. For what? Go. Also, if you guys are seeing this daily, so you saw the massive wicks on the weekly. The daily just threw a massive railroad. What do we know about railroads? They're the key patterns that I look for. I look for railroads, I look for evening stars, I look for morning stars. It just fucking threw right in our faces. So, and what I see this doing on the RSI is this. I see it breaking out of the volatility band and the stationary 50 at the same time. Guys, that's a huge reversal pattern. So if this happens, it's going all the way up to that daily Mayo. It's gonna shoot. So let's break it down and see where we can finally precisely enter that. So it's been rising here. It's hitting that 144 EMA on the 4 hour. Same thing. Pull back down, entry once it drops. And you guys can ride it. It's getting a little divergent here. I don't think it's going to be crazy drop, but like I said, in the 15-minute, it's going to throw that mini head and shoulders, wait for that pull back down, rise back up. That's it. Wait for it to pull down to this area, buy it. Or if you're technical, you can go down to the 0.73134 area. That'll be a precise entry. You guys can fucking rock the hell out. Chat. AU correlates with gold, right? Yep. AU. The first 4 pairs I went over, they all correlate. All of them. That's why I trade them. EU, GU, AU, and gold correlate. Sometimes some of the pairs will move faster. AU tends to make the move a little bit before all the other pairs because it's an Asian pair. So if you do see it move during an Asian session, you can get a good idea of what EU, gold, and GU are going to do during London session and New York session. So that's why I'm like, these are like my babies. Like, I only trade these pairs. So the one thing that I can tell you guys too, I was going over this with a friend earlier today. U-Chief. It was actually with Zachariah. So because U-Chief inversely correlates with EU, we'll be looking for U-Chief to take a drop. And if you guys are seeing this right now, it's in a fringe. Are you seeing this? The EMAs are extremely tight, hence no trend. It threw a divergent head and shoulders right here, and I'm actually just seeing this for the first time. I can't believe I didn't see this before. It's not overbought, but because it's in a fringe, this is the only time that you don't have to have it be overbought in order to sell it. It's in a fringe that hasn't broken. You have the left shoulder, you have the head, you have the right shoulder, you have the tank. You're looking for the pullback / consolidation. It's dropping again. All right. So if you guys want a long-term hold to sell on U-Chief, sell it. Daily, beautiful. It's broke down to this level here. The one thing that's telling me, but you're like, why is it coming down? Most traders would technically start buying this. Why? Because it's actually retesting this low. You guys seeing this? It's retesting this low. It's not dropping, but what we're going to see is this thing come out. It came out of the volatility band. It's structured down below. And as it continues, you're going to see this thing, because it's now in a new trend, you're going to see this thing drop down to the oversold zone. Hence, this thing is going to drop down to the daily blueberry. You're going to watch it just tank. Right? And that goes with EU, that goes with AU, that goes with gold. So you're going to watch all those pairs rise. You're going to watch U-Chief drop. We got the 4 hour. I was looking for this to possibly be a consolidation, or same thing as EU. It's right between the EMAs. We're gonna watch this thing go up, false move up, dropping. All right, that's all you're gonna really be looking for. 1 hour, you could look for it to hit the water, but I don't know. I think it's gonna. I think you might look for it to push up a little bit, and then you look for this thing to tank. But overall, this will be dropping this week. Anything up is a false move. Break that neck of the head and shoulders. This one's not a head and shoulders. This is a. Oh, you're looking at the higher. Yeah, I feel you. You're looking at the higher time. Yeah. It's got to break this low. Well, the candle technically closed below, but this thing's going to be dropping. That's what we'll be looking for on that. And on top of that, out of the volatility band, it's taking 100%. This thing's going right through the EMAs. It's not going to stop. It's going to be a straight drop. UJ, you're looking for a buy. I haven't been really playing these pairs, but ultimately these things are going to be going up for another rise. Took out the high here. You're simply doing the same thing I was showing you guys before on the other pairs. Pull back, wait for it to hit that water. You're looking for a recontinued buy. First take profit would be the recent high. I believe it's going to go a little bit higher. Let me see if I can see the weekly. Weekly, just through some, I don't want to say sauce yet. The daily, I see this happening on the weekly. Going over to the overbought zone. That would mean the daily is going to come out and over the liquid 50. And it's going to continue up to the first zone right there. So this blue line. What are you doing? Are you gonna make a presentation slide? Oh God. So you're looking for continued buys on UJ. GJ as well. You're looking at this weekly. It's retesting a supply and demand zone. And last week it's showing it throwing a shark fin. It ended with I can't say it's a morning star because it's not, but it's a nice engulfing pattern. So what you guys are going to see on this is a straight shot. Consolidation on the daily, hence maybe pullbacks down to the low, straight shot back up to the daily water. So it's going to go up. That's what you're looking for. 4 hour. Same thing. It's a little overbought, but it's inside of the EMAs. 1 hour. I got to find it. So you'll probably look for this thing to come down to that 1 hour water, rebuy. If it breaks the water by chance, it's not going farther. It's not going to break that mayo. So you have this entire zone for buying potential. But don't touch it until it at least comes down to hit that 1 hour water. Then you can start looking for the buying spots. Euro AUD. This pair as well. Everyone and their grandmother has been waiting for this thing to fucking tank. I've been waiting for it to tank, but I did say, and if anybody wants to go back and try to prove me wrong, I did say that there was probably going to be something here that may push this thing up. I was thinking that it could be a possible buy. I didn't want it to be a buy because it was throwing the head and shoulders, but at the same time, the monthly, it's above the stationary 50. It's an uptrend. On the weekly, it's above the stationary 50. It's not throwing any patterns telling me it's going to break that water. And last week, guys, it threw that massive engulfing candle. That's a super soft. That's literally like that's something telling us that this thing's going to continue. So everyone that was selling EA, if you're in it, can look out of it. If you're not in it, look for buys. So be looking for buy. If you look at the weekly here, no, the daily, where is it? The daily, what it's doing. Damn it. Clicked the wrong button. This, you are looking for the RSI to come back in a little bit and then come right back out to the overbought region. Hence pushing this thing back up to the recent high or recent weekly high, which is, let's see the number. I'm going to show you guys the number. 1.60465. That would be where it's going to hit first before if it goes anywhere. So look for that to hit. Are you recording? Oh, no, you're wrong. All right. The 4 hour, it's overbought, but it's not really showing. So EA, it's also very fluent in the patterns. If you guys like Euro USD, it's very fluent in the market structure. So this thing is not just going to go like this, and then just drop, right? If this thing even wants to consider dropping, it has to go up to retest that high. It has to. So regardless, you're still looking for buys before you even anticipate anything near to be a sell. 1 hour. It's bouncing off that water right now. It's inside of the EMAs or the stationary 50. So this thing is going to be making a move very soon. It might consolidate a little bit more, but I'm not going to be looking for this thing to be a nice buy. Maybe look at the 15, see if there's anything different. So this is definitely going to be a buy. You guys can actually buy EA if you want now. The reason I say that is because of this. One, it's an AUD pair, so it moves during Asian session. Two, it's riding the fuck out of the Mayo in the water. And three, it's throwing a mini head and shoulders. Left shoulder, inverted head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. After that, especially with the consolidation zone, rise. This thing is bound and it's divergent. You guys see that's oversold. It's going up. It's divergent. What we're going to do, and I'll even show you in a technical aspect, just for those of you that like to look at technicals. Here, technically, here, it's right in the middle. This thing is bound to pop the fuck off. So if you guys want to buy EA, buy it. First take profit would be right up to that high, which is 1.59386. You can look for that to go up there. GA, same shit. Now, I believe that this thing actually might. They correlate a little. They're not always in correlation with one another. But if anything, if this thing stop punts low, it's going to shoot down towards that the trend line here that I have drawn. Let me show you the strength of the trend line. From a 4-hour perspective, this is it. Right? I believe this thing is overall going to keep rising. Why? One, there's no divergence anywhere. Two, you got a low. Got a higher high, got a higher low, got a higher high. It's in that higher low range. Now, if it would, it could drop down, but eventually this thing will shoot up. So if you want to be a little bit more patient on GA, you can. I'm looking for it to overall rise, but I would hold off a little bit on GA until it makes that little drop, and then you guys can look at that buy. G-Chief I was looking at earlier too. This thing is tanking. And the reason I say that is because I drew this weekly trend line here. Let me actually close this. Got a weekly trend line, 1, 2, and it breaks it to the side here. The daily came down. Once it broke through, there's no divergence. It broke through and it retested it to a T, and it came right back down. I think this thing is going to keep dropping. So you'll be looking for continued drops on GG. It's going to come right out of the volatility band. It's going to break that low, and it's going to continue down. Now, if it doesn't just continue down right from here, the highest it will go is towards that 4-hour water and then tank. But you just got to be patient. There's so many other pairs, so just wait on that, and we'll continue dropping, and you can grab it. And then UCAD's going to continue to drop as well. I was looking at this pair earlier, weekly. Let's see what the weekly looks like. It has room to test down to that water on the weekly, so we'll be definitely be looking for that. The daily actually threw daily between the sheets, which is a sauce trade, which is these candlesticks, the railroad, on top of the ketchup and on top of the water. Hence, it will drop to that mayo. All right, so that's like a guarantee. So you will be looking for UCAD to take another drop, and you can rack the fuck out on that. Literally, just take it down. If you want to sell it again, stop on high, drop. It's coming up to that one. Wait for it to shoot up a little bit. Once it gets up here, sell it. All right, you can sell it. Cool. Does anybody have any questions? I mean, it's Sunday, so it's a trap day, and there's a lot of volatility this week, so just be careful. But that's what we're going to be looking for. All right, that's what we're going to be doing. So if nobody's got any questions, what we'll do, I will end this. I will put the video up on YouTube, and I will be with you guys tomorrow. tomorrow night for the chart analysis, see how tonight goes, and then we will capitalize on the pips being this week. So we will get this shit done. All right. Everyone here have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace out, guys.